Hey guys, so today we have this. Now I know what you're saying, isn't that the Cursed Murray? Yes, that is the Cursed Murray. And if you remember from my short, I couldn't find a blade for this, but then I did a recent post and I found a blade. Ta-da! A 20-inch blade with an MTD adapter on a Murray mower. It used to be a Tecumseh engine, now it's a brakes flathead. Much more reliable, much better engine. But as you can see, someone's been here before. It's an aerodynamic mode. This pull rope, it's a little short. It needs an oil change because it's a little black. And there's a water line in there. I don't know if you can see it, but there's definitely a water line in that gas tank. Now, does this machine run? I believe so. So we'll pop that air cleaner, squirt a little bit of Cosby sauce in there, and see what happens. I bet it fires up, spits out a bunch of smoke, and dies. Which means we got to clean that carburetor out and get it going. All right, guys, let's crack into it and get this Cursed Murray out of here once and for all. All right, so first thing, let's get this air cleaner off. Oh my. Oh my. That is nasty. Well, this doesn't seem too bad. Throttle, yeah, I'm gonna have to disable that. Give it a couple sprays. That should be enough. You know what they say, if you're gonna give it a little bit, might as well give it all. Make sure there's nothing under it. Or too close beside it. See what happens. I bet it fires up, spits out a bunch of smoke, and dies. That's a good sign. Let's give it a little bit more. I'm gonna see if I can keep it running. We're gonna see. Just for a minute or two. Maybe not a minute, maybe only a couple seconds. All right, well, it's a good sounding engine. All we got to do now is get that carburetor off and get it all cleaned out. So to get the carburetor off, we have a 1/2-inch socket, or a 1/2-inch bolt, and this one looks like it's a 3/8. So we'll get that 1/2-inch bolt pulled and that 3/8. We'll get this carburetor off. All right, so the 1/2-inch, 3/8. Sometimes this is 7/16 depending on the age of the engine. This one's not too old, so 3/8 it is. And there we go, carburetor's free. Now to grab a Phillips and get these off. First things first is we're gonna bake a cake. One of the main ingredients, gasoline and water. Yeah, you can see that distinct water line in there. Just in case you can't, well, here's the gasoline, and then just down here at the bottom, if you look at this line right across here, that's the water line. So down in here is water, and up here above, from this line up, is old gasoline. Nice. Let me put that off to the side. Okay, so Phillips screwdriver, 5 screws. Hey, how you doing?
Not bad, how are you?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Remember you fixed Lisa's lawnmower for me?
I do, yes.
Yeah, so anyway, so here's what I'm experiencing now. I was gone all winter.
Yep.
And I'm back now, and so I got the back cut,
Yep.
but it can't handle any kind of a load. It bogs down and quits.
Bogs down and quits.
Yeah, if I grab too much grass. And then it's just sputtering at best anyway. And then when it does that, I gotta let it almost sit for a while before I can get it started again. It barely starts, like it barely barely fires up.
I'm wondering if the valves are out of lash. That's always possible too,
Yeah.
that the valves are a little bit out of a lash, and
Yeah.
or it even sounds like the governor's not quite picking it up. Sorry about that, guys. That was a previous customer, just lives up the street from me, letting him borrow a lawnmower so he can cut some grass. Yeah, I'm seeing some spots down there, but not seeing anything too bad. Now, as for the carburetor, oh my, oops, losing the screws, can't be doing that. There goes another, and another, and another. Should be 5, there's 5. There's a problem right there. Take a look at that. That's terrible. So let's get rid of this. That's really nasty. Really nasty. And the screen looks good. Spray it out. Okay, we'll spray out. Let's pull the tube.
How dare you!
Go. Ha. Spray out the main jet too. Bulb's a little cracked up, but I mean, technically still works, so not bad. Put the screen back on. Bet you is only not running because of, well, obvious reasons. Oh, I guess I'm gonna have to clean this all off again. It's looking a lot better. So I'll set this aside so it can dry. Excuse me, little screws. There we go, should be able to see a little bit better now. Let's clear out the bowl here. Yes, sir.
You fix lawnmowers?
I do.
I got one I need repaired.
Yeah, what's the problem with it?
It starts but doesn't run.
Starts but doesn't run.
Yeah.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, I can bring it on over?
Yeah, bring it on over.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good. All right, see you in a bit. Okay, so I'm just gonna clean my hands so this doesn't get all dirty again and I have to clean it off again. And I'm gonna get a new diaphragm and gasket. Okay, hands are cleaner. And here's the Briggs diaphragm and gasket. And if you're curious, part number. And let's get it on. So hopefully I don't have to pull this apart again, but it should be okay. So get this in. There. Now, diaphragm and gasket. So the gasket goes on here on the flat surface, and then the diaphragm just, or I should say the gasket, just goes like this. Then we take the carb and we just plop her back on and we screw it down. So I'll get one screw in just to snug it so it doesn't move too much. There. Then in a star pattern, we're going to tighten it down. I'm going to start in the middle, and I'll do this one, this one back here, and finally this one here. That's it. That's all done. Now let's get it back on the engine. Now, in case when you took it off, these rings, they sometimes get stuck on the intake. Didn't happen with this one, so we don't have to worry about it. Z-bend goes on. Get the breather tube. Lose the gasket. Come on, gasket, get back on there. Then we'll get these bolts back in. 1/2 inch. And the 3/8. Well, since I've already got the 3/8 socket on, let's get the 3/8 in first. Snug a little bit. Now the 1/2 inch. Zap down the 3/8. Perfect. Now let me add some fuel. Hey, look at that, guys. Look what I found. A red subscribe button. If you made it this far into the video, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget, give it a thumbs up. Comment below. I love to read your comments, and I try to reply to as many of them as I can, especially the early ones. All right, guys, back to the video. Add a little bit of gasolina. Not too much. Now let's see. Does it earn its oil change? 1, 2, 3. It's just filling the bowl. 1 spray, 2 sprays, 3 sprays. All right. Let's see what happens. Now, I guess I should move this stuff out of the way first. Ah, an old lawn boy. Yeah. Very nice. Kohler. Not bad. Okay, sure.
Used to work amazing. Lent it to a friend once.
And then nothing,
And then as soon as it came back, it would literally run and then cut out.
Okay, now back to this. Sorry about that, guys. Again, give it another spray or 2. Now let's see. Is it gonna run? Or is it gonna run and die? No speed, no speed. Why is this so stiff? So let's see, why oh why is this stiff? This shouldn't be this stiff. I'm thinking, but I'm not sure. Ah, this spring is not on. Okay, now there's this spring. Okay, so we'll set it to wide open. Let's see. Okie dokie. I think I see what the problem is. She's a little stiff under there. So let me pull that apart and we'll get that all sorted. All right, so let's pull this cover and have a look. So 3/8. I don't know why that's sticking. That should be a 3/8, but it's a 7/16. Someone's changed that. Peculiar. Oh, that should have been at the gas tank. Let me swap those. Let's see if it'll thread in here. This thread here. Yeah, that thread's no problem. So then, likely this 7/16 should be here. Doesn't seem to want to thread in properly. Maybe if I put it in straight, it should thread in. No. Doesn't seem to want to. That's peculiar. That's concerning. Someone booger up some threads here, because that's not going anywhere. I think someone was boogering some threads here. That's a completely different thread pitch. Like, look at that. That's a 3/8 and that's a 7/16. These are completely different thread pitches. So someone went and jammed this one in and just said, all right, well, better cross threads than no threads, I guess. All right. I guess too little, too late now. people are awesome. So it looks like this is just simply a little too tight. Let's try adjusting that. What else did these people do? Why is it so tight? Maybe it's not. Uh-huh. No, that's loose. It's this. This is the problem. It's a little, seemed a little tight on here. But now it's not that tight. I think I might know what the issue might be. I think it's this guy. Let's see now. Oops, got a phone call. Oh, I'll miss that phone call. But this looks like it's moving fine. So let's get this spring off. So we're going to modify this and set it so that it's just that one constant. Maybe I'll just drill a hole or put a self-tapper or something. It seems very wrong. This doesn't, maybe. Okay, so let's take this guy out again. Okay, put you in here again, like so. Pop you in. There, now let's see. You know, since we're monkeying around with the coil, I guess, let's move this out of the way. Might as well simply adjust the coil. Make sure the coil gap's correct. Let me grab a business card so we can get the coil gap set. All right, so we'll get a business card in here. Like so. Now we'll roll the engine around until we got the magnet in place. And we'll release the coil again. Release the coil! There we go. Got the magnet in place and she snaps shut. Good. Now we tighten it down. And remove the business card. And we've reset the coil. Now we already know that it had plenty of spark because it was just running. But good to know now that the coil is properly set. Alright, so this seems to be working okay. So let's put this guy back on. Yeah, so look at that. Look at that. Right, let's give this a whirl. Let's give it a whirl. This might have solved our issue. Well, other than the screw. That, I don't quite know what to say. So with this on, yep, look at that. I wonder what the problem was. Very peculiar. Definitely going to have to set this. All right, let's get this back together. Put the 3/8 back here. Silly 7/16. This 3/8 here. This 3/8 right over here. And I guess, not that we have much choice here, we have to jam in the 7/16 that does not belong. Crazy. Where's the hole? Oh, it's down there. Got it. Yep, someone definitely just said, screw it. I'm going all the way. I'm going to go all the threads. We're just going to mess them up. And that's basically what they did. And I don't know where that nut came from. Probably another mower somewhere. All right, let's move this. Get my feet from under there. We're going to try this again. We're going to see if we can get it to run properly. Okay, so let's give it a couple primes. Looks good. Oh, phone call. That's twice now. Same phone call, and it's been missed. Awesome. Hopefully they call me one more time, and if not, then I guess I'm screwed. Okay, let's see if this thing will start and run. Come on. Come on. You can do it. So not getting enough fuel. We'll have to adjust the carb, I guess. Well, not adjust it, but we'll have to give it another cleaning. Maybe. Yup. Look at that. Alright, let me pull the carb off again. We'll give it a quick cleaning and we'll put it back on. I'll see you in a minute. But this is actually a good sign. It means that the governor is actually able to control the mower. Right. We'll be right on it. I'll see you shortly as soon as that's all done. All right, let's get this carburetor back together. Tube, screen, the spring is on. Just got to get her back inside the fuel tank. I'm confident it'll work this time. No problem. No problem at all. Confidence is key. Hopefully I'm not overly confident. Okay, we'll get it back on. Put in the O-ring. Come on, get in the little groove, Mr. O-ring. There you go. Now the retainer. It's on the governor, breather tube, and come on, get on the intake. Get on the intake. There we go. Excellent. Right. Get the 3/8 on at the front. Breather tube on the PCV again. Have temporarily misplaced my 1/2-inch socket. I had to do a little bit of cleanup out here. So I had to put this on hiatus for a day, believe it or not. And in that time I managed to misplace my 1/2-inch socket. I have all the other ones, just I'm not sure where the 1/2-inch went. That's okay. There we go. Right. Fill the bowl. Some of it evaporated. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So let's try it. Should work this time. No problems. Fires right up and idles perfect. Right. Well, I just jinxed it. You know what it could be? Could be the intake. Let's take a look. Maybe the intake loose. And then that one, of course, was the 7/16. Let's take a look. Right, so 1/4 inch. Let's open it up. Okay. Try reseating it now. Don't go too hard, it's only plastic. Okay, so the intake looks okay. Maybe there's some more debris in there. Let's try spraying it a little, spraying out some of this debris. Shouldn't be any, but who knows? Let's put it back together. Don't like using this, but what am I supposed to do? They've already buggered up the threads. Right, so let's try it again. Okay, let's look for some leaks. Okay, so let me get a different carburetor and gas tank. I do have a second one for this. There's the fuel tank. It has some old gasoline in it. And there's the carb. Let me quickly rinse this guy out. See, does it have just old fuel? Or is it water? You know, it might be just old fuel. Don't think it's water, but I'm not 100% sure. Smells like old fuel. Bowl's kind of dirty. So what I'll do is I'll leave the gas tank separate. I'll just change the carburetor on here. All right, give me a few. I'll have the carburetor changed and we'll be right back. Okay, well that one's cleaning up. Let's get this one off. Let's try cleaning this one more time. Just once. Just one more time. That worked great. And if not, then we'll definitely switch out the carb. Look at that. That guy was stuck on there. That's not nice. Stay. That's weird. Oops, don't want to lose those. There we go. Alright, so let's spray some of these out then. Who knows why it's not working. That's clear. Clear. See you. Yep, that's clear. Yeah, that looks okay in there. Yeah, that's okay. I don't see any debris. Yeah, I'm not seeing any debris in there. That's a good sign. We'll fill it up with a little bit of carb spray. But yeah, I'm not seeing anything that's really standing out why this wasn't running. I really am not. I know the gasoline's good in there. Just gonna check, make sure no water snuck in.
Well, we're waiting.
Nope. I'm not seeing any water either. Okay, let's try cleaning out this pickup tube again. Pickup tube should be cleaned out now. Oops. Squish the screen. Oopsies. Try to fix that again. Not smart. Not smart. Quarter-inch socket. Spreads it out a bit. There we go. That should help, hopefully. Maybe.
One week later.
There we go. That's fixed up. Now spray out the main jet one more time. There. Let's get the screen back on. Right. And again. Diaphragm. Make sure the diaphragm's going on properly. You know what? That's actually a really good question, guys. You did say the right question. Is this flat? Usually it's not this problem. It's usually the carburetor might get warped. I'm not seeing any issues here. That really... I'm not really sure what's going on. Usually these things are really easy. Once you get them on, they usually are pretty bulletproof. But if not, I do have that spare. So we'll try this one more time, and we shall see. Will it work? Will it work? Ooh, bit of debris. Don't want that debris there. You know what? I'm actually going to try... I'm going to try a new gasket and diaphragm. Let's see, maybe that one just was no good. Okay. So that's the spare carb. We'll try the diaphragm and gasket one more time that we had. There. One last time before I try a new carburetor and gasket and diaphragm, and then a different carburetor. Oh, This lawnmower has been nothing but headaches. Headaches, headaches, headaches. Okay. Should be good this time. Well, I'm not saying it should be good this time because it will be. I'm just saying it should be good because I want it to be. Oh, hopefully everything's good. And if not, yeah, we'll change the carb. And if that doesn't work, then I'm maybe the plug, but I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. The only thing I can think of is yet another engine. I could think of it. I'm kind of done with this mower at this point. Like, I can't take this anymore. It's crazy. It's the 5th engine. This is the 5th engine for this thing. 5 engines. How can a deck require 5 engines before it's finally ready? Like, that's just crazy talk. First, Tecumseh, toast, because bent crankshaft. Second, Briggs & Stratton, Governor brakes. Third, another Briggs & Stratton, and all 4 or all 3 bolts underneath snap. Awesome. Then, try another Tecumseh engine. Guess what? Bent crank. So, number 5. Number 5, Briggs & Stratton engine. And right now, this is just not going over well. Let's try it again now that the carb's back on. There we go. Let's try it. Oh, here's hoping. Nope. So, last possibility, let's try the other carb. I'll be back as soon as it's on. All right. So there we go. It's on. Just filling up. 1, 2, 3. Okay, here's hoping this works. Otherwise, I just... Oh dear. I don't know. I just don't know after this. So let's try it. Yeah, this is not looking good for this engine at all. I'm at a loss, guys. I'm at a loss. Different carburetor. The other one's been cleaned like 3 times now. 4 times. Including the ultrasonic. I don't know, guys. This one even went through the ultrasonic. I'm at a loss. I'm at a complete loss. I don't know what's going on here unless the only thing I can think of, we tear down this engine and see, because I don't know, maybe it can't be a compression leak. Maybe. Could be a compression leak, but I don't know. I really don't know. But it looks like engine number 5 on this mower is going to become engine number 6. Yeah. What do you think? Well, I already know a few of your guys' answers if you had this mower. You would have just said, you know what? Take it, put it by the curb, and forget about it. Let it be squished and be someone else's problem. And honestly, at this point, it's starting to get there. I honestly think that this one's going to be sent to the crusher for sure, because how many more engines can I stick on this before I finally just have to admit that I'm defeated on this one? So yeah, I don't know, man. This thing is definitely one of those mowers where you just kind of want to kick it to the curb and be done with it. And at the same time, I was really hoping, you silly machine, just, you know, like I just wanted Bart Simpson and just, you know, I don't know. Drives me nuts. It's so unfortunate because there's really no reason that this thing should not be working. It should be working. You should be working. What is the matter with you? I curse you. Actually, to be honest, that's cursing me. You cursed. You garbage. All right, guys, I guess that's it for this one. Talk about frustrating. I really don't know what to do about this one. This is the first mower that I actually picked up to work on, and I wasn't expecting it to be this much of a problem, but it is. It's a huge problem. It just doesn't want to stop. Let me rephrase that. It doesn't want to run. It has no problem stopping, but it does not want to run. So what do you think, guys? What else should I do? What possible thing could I be missing that is causing this engine to surge? I really don't know. I don't know what else could it be. I have no clue. I really don't. So on that note, I guess, well, before I go, I was given a couple of suggestions. What could possibly be going on? I checked a couple user groups to see, hey, I'm kind of stuck. What else could be the problem? Someone suggested the intake pipe, which, yeah, I could see maybe the intake pipe is toast on this. And as such, I took one off another engine. One that I know actually is good, except it had the bent crank. So I'm going to use that one instead and see, hey, maybe I can get this one going. So I guess first things first, take this air cleaner cover off. Come on, air cleaner, get off. Back to the original carb that was on here. I've opened up the jet a tiny bit. Made no difference. It's raining, unfortunately, so hence why it's a little bit wet. But I don't think that's going to be an issue as far as the running of this engine. So we'll get the 2 3/8 out first. Then we'll remove this 7/16, which doesn't belong. Okay, so we'll pull this guy, 1/4 inch. And using a 1/4 inch, we'll release this intake pipe. Intake pipe is loose. And I know what you're saying. Well, you've still got the carburetor on there. Don't you think you should remove the carburetor? Well, probably. But then again, maybe not. There's the intake tube. I don't see any cracks. I don't see anything wrong with it. Gasket looks good. Valve looks good. But let's try the metal one. And this time, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to remove the carburetor to get this one on. But I'll give it a try first. I'll give the old college try. No, it just doesn't want to go in that way. All right, so let's remove this carburetor. Carburetor's released. Now we'll install the intake pipe. Or maybe not. Maybe this intake pipe's not going to go on here. Aha! So this intake pipe's not going to work. All right, let me take it off the Quantum. I'll be right back. So let's compare the original. There's the original. There's the one off the Quantum. I think they'll work. So put this number 1 and we'll tighten her down. I'll just snug it by hand. There. Get the coil back in. Magnets. Coil back on. Flappy. And the other side, Flappy Bird. Yeah, okay. Okay, now let's put on this carburetor and we'll reset the gap. There, Flappy Bird's back on again. Oops, it came off. Darn it. Oh, come on and cooperate. Good lordy. There we go. I have to use two hands. Now, I highly doubt that's going to do anything. The next thing we're going to check the valves. And if not, then I'm going to call this engine dead. Get that business card in there again. There we go. Coil's now reset yet again. So that's set. We'll put this guy back on, and I guess we'll give it a try. We'll see what happens. Let's get this cover back on. Okay, so I guess here goes. Let's give it a whirl. And I think she's a little bit out of fuel there. Not much. Just enough to get her going. There we go. 1 squirt, 2 squirts, and 3 squirts. Let's see. Will it keep surging? No, it just revs right up and dies. Okay, let's try that again. Squirts. Try it one more time. Spark plugs all the way on? Yep. Another squirt or two. Let's try it again. Maybe timing is off. That was an interesting pop. Very interesting pop. Timing could be off. Maybe that's the whole issue with this engine after all. Just timing. Well, let's give it another squirt, I guess. Try it again. Should run. Just one thing after another with this engine. I don't know if it's maybe it's just this Murray curse, man. This is starting to get a little beyond ridiculous. Let's try that. What the heck? Why not? Carb spray. And let's pull it over. Again, nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. That seems to be this whole thing with this engine. Just all the time, nothing. Okay, we'll change the spark plug. Yeah, it's pretty wet, so I'll put a dry one in there. Let's pull it over a few times. Let's try this spark plug. Champion RJ19 LM. What do you think, guys? Will it work? I'm going to say no. I think I'm going to finally just say enough is enough, and this mower's getting scrapped. Huh. Okay. So it started and then died. Rev twice. One more time. Maybe it'll run this time. Okay, so I think it's still surging. I think it's still surging pretty bad, because I bet you if I take this guy off, because you can hear it surging, but that spring is just trying to say no. It's trying to say no. So let's try it again. Okay, well, let me flip you around to the other side and let's check those valves. Okay, so let's tap off these tabs to flatten them out. And I guess we'll remove this hot exhaust. I think it's 11 mil 7/16. Yeah, it looks like 7/16. I trusted that it was very hot, as you can hear. So now we check these valves. This is the last thing. If these valves are fine, then maybe timing, maybe, but I don't think so. I'm gonna double check the head bolts. What the heck, right? Let's make sure they're not loose. A little loose, but I mean they're really not bad. So I don't think it's the head bolts. Well, that one was pretty loose. Well, that one was really loose. So was that one. Wow. I think it's supposed to be around 140 inch-pounds of torque on those. Let's get that carburetor open now. Carburetor. Let's get that valve cover open. Carburetor. Jeez Louise. 5/16 should open it up. Nope. 1/4 inch. So 1/4 inch should open it up. I don't have much hope that this is the problem. Not one bit. Here's hoping. So all we can do is keep hope alive. Come on, valve cover. Why don't you want to come off? There we go. Yeah. Gasket's good. Take the spark plug off. This way it's easier to rotate the engine over. And less chance of it firing off. Coming up, crush decompression. Okay, intake valve is all the way open. Oh, sorry, exhaust valve is all the way open. So we'll check the intake valve. Try at 4 thousandths. So I believe they're supposed to be between 4 and 6. $4,000 fits great. Let's go all the way up to 6. Probably some good drag on 6. Yeah, 6 doesn't fit. Let's try 5 thou. Yeah, 5 thou just fits. So this is set to 4, which is perfect. Let's check the exhaust. Actually, I guess we can just put it to top dead. Decompression. Back up. There we go. Top dead center. We'll try it again. We'll see on the intake. So I believe they're supposed to be the same. 4 and 6 and 4 and 6. So the exhaust. 4 fits. Perfect. No problem with 4. Goes right in. Intake. Okay, so we're at top dead. Let's check the exhaust. 4 thou. No problem. Intake. Intake, nothing. Let's get a little bit smaller. Did we find the problem? Have we finally found the problem? We'll go down to 2 thou on the intake. No. Exhaust is fine, but intake? Nope. So let's try getting the exhaust valve open and checking the intake. just the exhaust valve. There we go. Exhaust valve is open. Check the intake. Guys, did we find the problem? Tooth thou has a bit of drag. Fits. But it's got quite a bit of drag. I'll try the smallest one I got. 1.5. Yeah, 1.5 fits. Of course it's not going to fit in the exhaust, but yeah, 1.5 fits great. Tooth thou. Yep, tooth thou fits fine. Let's go to 3. 3 is fine. I don't think we found the problem after all. I may just not have been trying to put it in properly. Oops. 4 thou fits. This intake valve's perfect. So I'm just going to go right to 6, and we'll see if 6 thou fits. All right, 6 thou. Doesn't fit, which is fine. It shouldn't. I'll try 5 thou. Yeah, 5 thou fits with a lot of drag. So that intake valve is set to 4 thou. Double check the exhaust valve now. Okay, so let's open the exhaust valve now. Oh, sorry, the intake valve. Okay, intake valve is all the way open. We'll double check the exhaust valve now. And this one as well should be between 4 and 6. So we'll try 6. 6 fits just fine with a good amount of drag. It could also be between 6 and 8. I'm not 100% sure, but I'll have a graphic popped up on the screen right now to say what it should be at. So we'll try an 8. Lots of drag. Lots and lots of drag. Like it barely fits. So the exhaust valve and intake valve are fine. They're fine. There's no reason to believe that they're out at all. So that turns out to be yet another dead end. Well, seeing as I tighten down some of these bolts on the head, we'll give it one more try. And give it just one more try and we'll see what happens. And if not, then I guess we'll call it dead. We will officially call it dead. Okay guys, I'm gonna fire it one more time and we'll see what happens. If it works, awesome. Then maybe it was just a couple of those head bolts were loose, because that's the only thing I honestly have done. Do I believe that's the problem? No. Would it be cool if it was? Yes. Sure there's nothing under here? Oh, there is. That's not good. Let's give it a whirl. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. No difference. No change. Same garbage. Alright guys. That's it. I'm calling it here. I'm saying this engine, dead. So, yeah. Right. Now I gotta find yet another engine for this mower. But here's a brakes teardown. We'll see what went wrong. Alright guys, I guess I'll see you in the next one. And maybe the next one will be tearing down this Briggs engine and finding exactly what happened to it. Goodbye, Cursed Murray. I'd say spark plug off for safety, but this thing doesn't really run technically. But whatever. Anyway, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Maybe I'll get this one going. That'd be a good idea. All right, guys. Spark plug off for safety.